This is another episode of UFO Garage.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Joe, and this is where we talk about UFOs, aliens, and all things weird.
A little lackluster. Yeah, I'm fucking all right. What's this one? Yeah.
It's always a little bit weird when it's like through Zoom call.
Yeah, I mean, I like it, dude. I think I don't know. I like it. It's not that bad.
It's like,
and we both get our own camera this way.
I mean, I guess so, but it's like,
I'm not saying this is better.
There's energy involved that isn't created through the computer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the pooter.
It's a little different.
Yeah, we definitely feed off of the energy in person. It's that isn't. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. So what are we talking?
Well, no, because judging from all of the last ones that we've done this way, they were awful. So,
well, the only ones that we've done
they
online was
awful,
when we were on the Bob podcast.
Yeah, but
have we done one of our own that were?
As soon as like COVID hit, we did like 2 or 3 that were like this, and they were just
remember that.
They were weird. Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Okay.
They weren't, I mean, they weren't bad. They were just, you could tell like the energy was just different.
Yeah.
It was like, cause I don't know about you, dude, but like I read off like your body language and stuff. And so it's weird, like seeing you through the computer, just looking at your face. Cause
we never look at each other.
I'm used to the peripheral, like body language.
Yes.
It's weird.
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I agree. I think it's different. Not optimal, but yeah, I don't ever talk to you ever. Like even when we're just hanging out, like you're always like.
I mean,
like
sometimes we're always like next to each other.
When have we ever sat across from each other and stared at each other and had a conversation? I don't think we've ever done that.
I don't think ever.
Like this is the only time.
That one time we went to Hooters that 4 times.
Yeah, for 5 days straight, dude.
Yeah, that one time, 5 times.
I feel like, what is that? Like, like we can't be the only ones. Like, we just don't do that. We don't sit across from each other and talk.
Well, because usually if we're in like a social setting, it's like a bar top of some kind.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even if you're at like one of those bars with like a picnic table, if I'm there with another dude or dudes, like you don't sit across, like you kind of like leave some. It's almost like leaving the open stall,
Or you sit sideways if it's a bench.
Yeah. Like on our road trip in Arkansas, we went in that bathroom in the Wendy's.
Yeah.
And then I went in and I went to the middle stall at first, and I noticed you behind me, so I was like, I need to move. So I moved. I realized that was a bad first choice. I guess I've never been in that situation, I guess, in my adult life, like where I chose the middle one and there was only 3. So like, I know, I'm just glad I realized in the moment, like as you were walking up, like, you commented, you're like, well, thanks for like moving over. That would have been weird. Peeing right next to each other.
And it would have been your fault because you picked the middle.
Yeah.
Oh shit, man. Well, so
anyway, you saw my dick.
No, I didn't.
I was staring around. I'm kidding.
Were you, dude?
I tried, man.
I could feel it.
The fucking dividers. I was leaning, bro. I brought out a mirror.
Well, I'm glad you moved over.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, so fucking all right. Well, might as well talk about it. The road trip, Arkansas, dude. Arkansas.
Yeah, dude. That was fun.
Holy
so
shit.
I guess. I mean, most of you guys know that we're helping Eric Mitchell out with this little documentary thing, and so we went up and got to hang out with him, and it was a really cool experience, man. Him and Christy were awesome. They were just a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of work. A lot of work. We put a lot of work into that, man.
I am going on record and saying that the reason I got COVID is because I did not sleep and I just drank wine for 3 days straight, and my immune system was just shot. I have a feeling that's what it was, dude. Because we worked so hard. Like we were going to bed at 3, sometimes 4 a.m. and then waking up at like 8 or 9. And then
doing it all over again.
And then working all day and like mentally being in that state all day was exhausting, dude. Like, you think I didn't really have any expectations for this project. And I just thought like, hey, we'll fucking go up there and film, try to catch some stuff on film. But Nico brought an aspect that I think we were all pleasantly surprised that it was like, it was a big deal at that moment. Like, holy shit, there's a lot of equipment. And then like, I kind of I think we both turned on this, like, hey, we are creative guys. We kind of would know what would be good here. And I think I think we all 3 fell into our little roles. And I think it meshed really well, which made I think it made Eric a lot more comfortable in a lot of different aspects. Like, it wasn't like Nico just shouting out like, hey, do this, do that.
Right.
It was very much like it was collaborative.
Yeah, a nice little balance for sure, man.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. So it was long, and like not like, and it's not like strenuous work. It's more like mental.
Yes, yeah, mentally being present and like, because I mean, we love Eric. We kind of knew his story before, and it was just great to see the guy. I mean, like walking up, remember we did that scene where like, hey, Joe and Ben, all right, so y'all like drive up in the truck and act like you're just seeing Eric, meeting Eric for the first time after not seeing him in the like how many takes did we do? Like something happened every time.
It was like 7. And but that was the only thing that like
the only thing that tripped us up.
Yeah, that was it. Other than that, though, it was flawless.
Yeah,
I'm so excited to start getting ready to like go through the footage and picking out all the cool stuff in it,
dude. So I gave Nico I bought I think like a 5 terabyte external hard drive. So he's putting all the footage on that. I think either he's gonna mail it to me or I'm gonna go pick it up. It's just it happened like literally the night that I dropped it off at his house. I got sick like that night. So like he has it on there, but anyway, I'm going to have it. Oh
yeah.
So next week when we do the podcast here, we're going to go through the footage, dude. And dude, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Did you see the drone? You saw the drone footage.
Yeah, I saw the drone footage. It's awesome.
Fuck,
it's awesome, man.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
He's been texting me about it too. He's like, dude, this is, I mean, I don't know. He's like, dude, this is huge. Nico like is interested in aliens and stuff, as you found out through the week, but like he's like so committed. He's like, holy shit. We may have stumbled on one of the most important things in like documentary history, It's just he's super excited about it, which makes me excited about it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a cool story. Like I'm excited for people to hear it, and I know Eric's excited for people to hear it too.
Yeah.
And so it's just going to be cool, man. It's going to be cool just getting to help him out and have the guy tell his story.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's all it is.
I don't know if we'll win any awards, but I'm just excited to like tell the story, dude. Like.
Me too, man.
There was a moment when we were talking to. It was like the second night or something like that. We were talking. Eric had that Zoom up with like a few people, and I like looked over at you guys, and I just started getting giddy like a kid, like laughing. I was like, dude, this is fucking cool, dude.
Yeah,
this is gonna be huge. Yeah. I just remember that like moment. Feeling like, oh shit, this is actually really good.
It was. Yeah, from our original idea, just like no expectations. Let's just go in and do what we can do. And man, it's like, it's way better.
Yeah.
Than like what I even envisioned.
It was way better than us having just our cell phones. Filming.
Yep. So that's pretty awesome, man. But yeah, it was a great trip. That was a great trip. I'm ready to get him up here and finish it off. because I think we can finish it off in this next trip.
Dude, yeah. I think it's one more trip and we've got ourselves a documentary, dude.
It's gonna be sweet.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. So, dude, you were telling me about. I haven't had a chance to read the article. You were telling me about the Israeli dude who said aliens are real.
The Israelites.
And they know who the Galactic Federation is.
Bro, so you know that term, the Galactic Federation. Like, we've been kind of playing with that idea, almost like tongue in cheek, because it kind of came from Corey Good. That's where I heard it first. The Galactic Federation.
So, I mean, I've heard it, but I've also heard that dude say it too. You know, like, it's just
Israeli guy or what?
No, Corey Good.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I mean, I heard it before. Like, I knew him. Star Wars has a Galactic Federation. I mean, like, it's, I don't know. It's okay. I tell you what. How about you tell me about the article and the story, and then we'll get into just like ideas and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just, yeah. Right, I want to hear it first before I can pass judgment.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, just for the listeners and you, I know you said you hadn't read the article, but in surmise, there's an article. I mean, everybody's picking it up, dude. NBC, Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal did kind of like a perspective piece from the perspective of an alien, like that's a part of the Galactic Federation. So it's kind of funny, like tongue in cheek a little bit. But the most like serious one that I found was the NBC one, and I mean it's an article. Like, it's not like, hey, this is what this person said, like right up. So you kind of have to dig. Right. Everything's in quotes. But this is the first quote, and this is from the former Israeli space security chief. So Israeli, I mean, they're like one of the superpowers in the world. I mean, they're not like a third world.
Well, where they are, they're definitely a superpower.
Yeah, I mean, they're not like living in the Amazon in a rainforest. Like they've like.
It's like
they're
it's
smart.
Like those guys
they got some shit, dude.
Yeah, they're a superpower because they got, they're friends with us. Like, if you're friends with us, you're like kind of a superpower. You like talk shit to people a little bit. You're like, hey, get off my lawn. And they're like, who are you? Yeah. They're like, don't make me call my friend.
They're kind of like that kid in school that had like a cool house that his parents would let you party at. And they're like, hey, so I know like Ben's a little bit annoying, but like he's really good friends with Joe, and his parents have a badass house and they let us drink and smoke over there. So like you kind of have to be like nice to Ben.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, like,
so what are they saying?
So one of the quotes is so this is a direct quote. The unidentified flying objects have asked not to publish that they are here. Humanity is not ready yet. So it goes on to say, like, yeah, there's a thing called the Galactic Federation, and it's basically a bunch of extraterrestrials that are here on the planet that have and there's a quote that he says there's a contract between the extraterrestrials and the US, and we're a part of it. He doesn't really specify that it's a global thing. He really just talks about the US, but he's saying that there's a contract that they are here to conduct experiments. He doesn't say what experiments, but there's like an agreement that there's extraterrestrials here and we know about it. The US government knows about it, and the signing contractor is the Galactic Federation. That's pretty much it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So is he only mentions the US, like nobody else is a part of it, or they just don't mention it?
No. Yeah, no, it's just
does he say how many like civilizations are part of this federation?
No, he doesn't. No. So our good buddy Nick Pope has a comment. His quote is, either this is some sort of practical joke or publicity stunt to help sell his book. perhaps with something having been lost in translation, or someone in the know is breaking ranks. So we have a pretty, I mean, Nick Pope, as we all know, is a super smart guy. His comment on that is like, yeah, so this could be fucking fake, or he's just trying to sell books, or he's breaking the law, basically. Breaking rank, breaking the law.
Right.
So who's no? It does say X. The guy used to be.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's kind of like the A-Tip guy. Alexander.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, so yeah, that's an interesting way to think about it. Like, yeah, he's either making this shit up or he's breaking the law, right? Because why would that be something that you're allowed to say to anybody if you knew about it, right? So that's what I hate about this, dude, is that you're left with, okay, yes or no, pick one.
Yeah,
it's like hard to find, like, okay, what's the middle information there? Like, why is this like yes and no? Like, yes, it's real, and no, I'm not breaking the law.
Yeah.
Or no, this isn't real, and yes, I'm breaking the law.
Right.
Or I don't know how you marry those two.
I mean, that's the description of this whole thing, right? Like this.
So when you told me about it, I hadn't even read the article yet, but I internally felt the same way Nick Pope did, I guess. You know?
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, I've just heard so many like Galactic Federation stories that it's like, okay, you know, it's hard to, I don't know, it's kind of hard to take serious, but at the same time,
turn
it's
on
like
the thrusters.
yeah.
At warp speed. At warp speed.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it just sounds silly.
Notify the council. You know how they ambiguously just like roll through the screen? the frog guy with the big like wide set eyes.
Yes. Or the screen is just like
yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. It's obvious why it sounds silly, right? But at the same time, it's like if it's almost like, okay, so if aliens are real and like these badass time traveling spaceships are real, why isn't a fucking Galactic Federation real? You know, like why couldn't that be real?
Yeah, where does it stop?
If this other stuff is real, right?
Yeah.
Where does it stop? Just because you know, like I think it's more about like where the information's coming from, you know?
Yeah.
Like this guy is an ex-Israeli, like whatever he was, like what was he? Intelligence or something?
The former Israeli space security chief.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's strange, like to build on your point, like it just made me think of the quality of references that are coming out in the recent times that are like so credible. Like it seems like 40 years ago, anybody that would have come out to say this would have been like, yeah, no, I work at Staples. But like, now it's almost like this generational thing where like people that were interested in it as kids in the 70s and 80s or whatever are now like real, like people with really important jobs, but they've always like been interested in this shit. So you really don't know if they're making this shit up because they grew up with this shit on TV and movies and like it's been indoctrinated. Like if you're into this stuff like you and I are, like,
right.
Man, it's
almost
tough.
like it's such a weird thing to have happen because, you know, it used to be like unacceptable to talk about it. So like if somebody like felt the need to really talk about it, like you really perked your ears up because you were like, okay, nobody talks about this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear what this guy has to say or whatever. But now it's like it is accepted. So like it does that make it easier for people to be like, oh yeah, I know about this.
Oh yeah.
of course there's houses on Venus. Like I know about it. Like,
hey man, you have to read this 30,000 page document, man. There's Venusians, man. You have to interview me.
yeah.
I'm fucking important, dude.
But so, yeah, we see how ridiculous that is. But then again, you flip it around. Like, okay, I believe, like if there's aliens and if there's like these badass spaceships, or if there's not that and it's like some energy bubble dimensional shit, why isn't there a house on Venus, right? Like why couldn't there be?
Yeah. Dude,
and I know people are going to be like,
thought about that. Yeah.
I know people are like, well, because science, right? Science, you can't put a house on Venus. But like, I don't know. Like, I couldn't debate you if I wanted to. Like, I'm not a physicist, and most of the people I talk to aren't either. And they're so like hell bent on being like, well, dude, science. But it's like, do you really know? Like, what is the air pressure on Venus? Without Googling, what is the air pressure on Venus? If you said that to 98% people, they would be like, I don't fucking know. Well, like, don't tell me science if I'm like, there's a house on Venus, right? So now I just made it acceptable. So it's like, it's either crazy or it's like totally acceptable. That's such a weird thing to like have to deal with constantly.
That's such a good point. Like conversationally, when people just spit out like, no, it can't happen because science. And then you're like, you check them on their actual science knowledge and they're like, fucking don't know shit. Like, I guarantee you 80% of the people on this planet don't know how the moon works.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, like there's a reason why you see the moon during the day and people are like, wait, hold on, what? And then they don't ever look up and they're like, oh shit, you're right there. You can see the moon during the day during certain times a year. Is that new? I think there's a conspiracy there. I think it's man-made. Like it's so anyway, like fact checking people on like, oh yeah, just blanket statement. Oh, science. To your point, like if bubbles like these spacecraft are able to defy gravity by creating this bubble of their own inertia around themselves, why can't they do that in a stationary place on literally anywhere, just floating around in space? Why do they even have to be on a planet? Why can't they just they hang out in space, man? The view's great.
That's what they do. Yeah, dude. So I don't know, like that's a weird headspace to be in.
Space.
Because now it allows you to just like say the most ridiculous shit. And then like, you're like, well, that sounds stupid, but is it possible?
Yeah.
Like
it's almost like, with culture right now, I like to think of culture right now as in, this. So before there was like, TV and all that and like sketch comedy shows, there was like stand-up comedy, right? And like it was so provocative, like Marvelous Mrs. Maisel or whatever. It was a woman on stage. My God, it was
it's
like
a great show.
So it's a great show. So out of the ordinary. And now to today's time, it's so outrageous where like everything is a joke, everything is a meme. And like, if any kind of serious truth comes out, somebody's going to make a meme about it. I mean,
right.
I mean, the COVID thing, like there's billions of memes about like the most serious stuff. So like, it's almost like a perfect time to come out about disclosure for any government to be like, no, there's a Galactic Federation. Anyway, so Burger King, thoughts about their fries. Like it's not, no one knows what, like everything's a joke. Everything's a joke.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just Western culture, but that's how I perceive it.
Man, I think it is, like that's kind of a cool like way to think about it. Like if you like as a Westerner, like you have so much free time and luxury in your life that like everything is fucking funny, even tragic things are like funny and become jokes. because like your house is air conditioned, you're not getting eaten up by mosquitoes, you don't have to worry about AIDS and shit like that, and like your water is clean and you flush gallons of the shit a day, you know, like everything's funny. Like, of course your life is awesome, but can you imagine like living in some bullshit hut that you had to like construct yesterday with your bare fucking hands, and it's like, no, this shit is not funny. You're like, the mosquitoes are terrible.
It's so true.
There's a lion right over there.
There's a fucking lion and hyenas waiting to pick his scraps.
Yeah.
That hyena will eat my asshole.
Yeah, man.
He's like Fruit Loops. He's probably got a bowl of assholes ready to go.
How come Libyans aren't funny? Oh, well, because their entire like state has been leveled by bombs. That's why they're not funny. They don't feel like fucking joking right now.
Yeah. How come like the majority of like the continent of Africa doesn't have more stand-up comedy? Oh, because like a lot of it's desert and no one fucking lives there. It's really tough to live
jungle.
There. Like,
you ever try to do stand-up comedy? You ever try to do stand-up comedy with a gorilla behind you?
Yeah. So I mean, dude, that's a great, like, I guess, yeah. The stand-up comedy, I think it roots in the root is in comedy, right? Like, it's so absurd. All those points you just said, like, yeah, our fucking lives are awesome. Do we flush more clean water down our pooper shooter than most villages have around the world? Like, that's pretty insane. If you're living such a cush life, like, yeah, you have the luxury to find things hilarious.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to like serious topics, like, hey, yeah, there might be some alien overlords that are a part of this Galactic Federation that are doing experiments on the planet and whatever. That if you were to say that to somebody that has some real shit to deal with on a daily basis, like doesn't know like what breakfast is,
right?
That doesn't really affect them unless they're hoping that they would bring food or something. I don't know.
Or they would be like, "Oh my god, just another thing I have to deal with now." Yeah. Like, you mean to tell me that all this stuff is happening around me, and now I have to worry about a Galactic Federation that exists in my world now?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, like their subconscious has to like dial that out. You know, in a way where like, I don't even want to hear that. Like, okay, I want to know about that jaguar that just moved in.
That's also like a cool perspective. Like, we as like this Western culture, like we have so much technology and this and that, but like, what if you really did like go to like a, you know, like a very isolated like tribe or something, and then you were like, hey, there's a Galactic Federation. They'd be like, I've never even seen a toaster. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about at all.
Yeah. You know what they would probably do is say like, you would have to break it down. Yeah.
They would probably say, yeah, we know.
Yeah. Like, okay, well, that makes sense. Okay. Is that what you're, you're just choosing to call it that? No, that shit has been around for fucking ever. Have you ever accidentally eaten a mushroom that was growing out of a cow turd? Yeah. No, I've had plenty meetings with the GF. So
yeah, we're like buddies.
Yeah. I'm pretty important in the GF.
And then they're like, by the way, if they ever ask you, don't sign a contract. And we think we're all smart because we signed a contract.
Yeah. So I was telling Jess, she was like, so what are you, Joe, going to talk about? And I was like, very nonchalantly like, well, I guess there's this one thing where it's like, this guy is like a Galactic Federation. And she was like, what? And I said, yeah, supposedly like we signed a contract with them. And she was like, signed a contract? Do they even have hands? Like, what does that even mean? Would that even mean anything to an extraterrestrial?
Yeah, what does that mean?
What if it's made of consciousness? Like, the contract itself is such a human construct. And I was like, holy shit, you're so smart. Like,
that is smart.
That's a
really we think aliens gave us a piece of paper.
Fuck no, dude.
And a pen?
Fuck no. Their idea of a contract is like, I mean, their equivalency of a contract would be like, oh, let's rewrite a portion of your DNA. Like, that's how much
right.
way above what we're like it's also contracts are so dumb, dude. Here's a piece of paper saying that ding is in. Hey, I did. You signed it. You said it. That's so dumb. That's so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Sorry, lawyers.
But people are liars sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, this is what happened. Sign this. This is what happened.
You said this thing. I said this thing. Let's agree on it and put it on a piece of pulped wood. Yeah. And now it's official. Now we have to, That's the same idea of like how we give value to paper money. Why is it paper? Why can't it be like something cool, like gold?
Well, it used to be.
Yeah, but what if it was though? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I guess you'd have to get a pick and go mine some.
I'm not trying to play Skyrim right now, dude. I already played too much of that, dude. I already mine a lot of gold. Skyrim.
Man, but I don't know, man. The Galactic Federation. What are your thoughts?
Dude.
Yes? No?
Yes. Fuck yes.
Yes?
A possibility 100%. 100%. It's a possibility. Why not? It would make sense. And
you think
it could just mean that like I'm making sense of what would make sense for me. And I think we've talked about this before, but like if there are billions and billions of intellectual beings out there that are kind of, traveling back and forth, there should be some kind of centered or unified structure to the place. But that could just be my puzzle-solving human brain. I mean, it just makes sense. But what makes sense to another brain chemistry could not make sense to us in a way. So, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too deep on that. But for me, it makes sense that there should be a UN for the galaxy. So, fuck yeah, dude. I think it's a possibility, man. I don't think he's full of shit. I think he might be half true. I don't think it's called the Galactic. It's probably called something like,
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Also, dude, I mean, there's just, I don't know. There's so much like other crazy stuff that makes that not seem that crazy, Like
what?
Okay,
Venusians?
I was listening to this thing the other day and they were talking about stargates and how water is like a primary source of like a stargate. So you could technically like open a stargate like near some water or like a pool. And then they were talking about how like certain bloodlines throughout history have been tracked. So whoever like these shadowy people are, they know exactly where you are, where you live, and they have tracked your bloodline throughout history. Well, then they got to talking about how vaginas can be stargates. And so that's why certain bloodlines are like really important, because every like so often like there will be like this female who can like create a stargate with her vagina. And so like they have like an incarnated soul that comes into life into this being, and then like it goes through her vagina, which is a stargate, dude. So yeah, the Galactic Federation, totally. Like I totally believe that.
Dude, I think I was born out of that stargate, dude.
I don't know. It's okay. So the way I said it was kind of like kind of dumb, but like
no, that didn't sound dumb to me. I mean,
I'll send you. I'll send you the link. Yeah, dude. WAP.
Fucking
I mean, there's
WAP, dude.
That
shit was that shit was out of this world, bro.
We should message who is it? Cardi B did that song. Who did that song?
That sounds right. Wow.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we'll
have to send her a message and ask her to do a remix where she talks about her vagina being a stargate, because it's super WAP,
Bro, like, okay, so you had me very interested when you were talking about like the connection between like water and stargates. Like that was cool, and then you said the vagina part totally broke it all down. Like, like it was a joke, right? Like, but
that wasn't a joke. That's like real. Like there's some people like believe this. Yeah.
See, that's the dangerous part about it is like we're sitting here like judging because that sounds so out like implausible. But bro, if we're going down this road,
Yeah.
at this point, it's like we have to not accept everything, but at least entertain.
Like the what if, like the idea, like the possibility. At the end of the day, you can totally be like, no, that's total bullshit. But you have to like entertain the possibility of it to even, start to deconstruct it.
Yeah, well,
So
I think that's why even like saying this on a podcast is like that's why we bring this shit up, is to break it down, right? So like, what would be the line of validity there? Like, okay, so I could see, all right, I could see that we were talking about the Kundalini thing, right? Like this energy, this chakra energy that's created when a human life is born, and then like there's levels, and you don't reach a certain level until you're like a specific age, and there's some dark shit involved, and I really don't want to talk about that part, but
right,
you know what I'm talking about. But
well, this whole vagina Stargate thing is related to that.
Did you say this old vagina shit?
No, I said this whole, which is kind of funnier if you think about it.
It's deep, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
So, but like, if you think about, all right, entertain this idea. The woo-woo aspect of birth itself. It's like, oh, we think of being born is, okay, you're now in the Matrix. Like you're a human now. You're out of the womb, and now you're a player one in the game. So that's kind of cool to think about. And the vagina is almost like this Stargate, a portal.
It kind of is,
you know? So
like it's funny to say, but like if you really kind of think about it, you're like, huh, interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
I think we're like convincing ourselves of, but that it does make sense. Like anybody else out of context listening to this is going to be like, all right, well these guys just fucking believe everything. But I mean, come on, it's fun to
entertain the idea.
Yeah, dude.
So I think, who was it? Let me see. There was a cool post that was on our Facebook the other day. And this is actually why I kind of got down that rabbit hole, because I started looking at this stuff.
Yeah. How did you...
it was a crazy story. I'll give it that. But like I said, I started just entertaining the idea, and then I went down this rabbit hole. Let me see if I can find it. It's on our Facebook real quick.
Yeah. In the meantime, I'll say this really quick while you're looking that up. There's a meme that somebody that Lewis posted, and it's about the Galactic Federation thing. And it's I don't know if you know who John Mulaney is. He's a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
It's that meme. It's like it starts out, humans : can we meet the aliens yet? And the Galactic Federation : it's a photo of John Mulaney. It says, not unless everybody gets real cool about a bunch of stuff really quickly.
Yeah, that's gonna have to happen for sure.
That's basically what happens.
Because a lot of people aren't. Well, I don't know. I feel like times are changing. I think maybe people would be okay with it at this point. They'd be like, all right.
Post-COVID, man, I think people are not only looking for more purpose, but also more open-minded and kind of just shell-shocked over this past year. I mean, so much has happened. I mean, it's so easy to make a joke about, like, oh yeah, fucking aliens could come down, like everybody be cool with it. But maybe. Okay, I found it.
So it was this guy. It was posted by Joey Peters, and he said this one's out there, and he was right. It was do you trust Donald Marshall's testimony? And dude, this guy started like talking about how, when they talk about celebrities, like they'll sell their souls to the devil, basically, and then they get this fame. Well, it's like what they do is like really powerful people will approach them and they'll say, like, hey, we can help you with this, we can help you with that. But what they end up doing is like they are actually taking DNA. So what they'll do is they'll take DNA from these people and then they'll clone them. And so these people are selling a piece of them to the powerful so that way they can be cloned. And so he was like, what they do is they'll take people like Britney Spears and like Tia Tequila and they'll clone them. And so they'll basically just like do like fucked up shit and like they'll have sex with like Britney Spears and Tia Tequila because why not, right? So like, or like they'll do like these things where like people want to know. He was like, the clones are used basically for like dark shit. He was like, if somebody wanted to know what it's like to stab somebody, they'll take a clone and they'll just like give that person a knife and they'll go to a room and he'll just stab somebody or murder somebody. But it doesn't matter because it's a clone. But he did say that whenever you go to sleep at night, if you are cloned, they're able to somehow transfer your consciousness to the clone. So you are experiencing everything the clone is. And so that's why these celebrities go fucking crazy. Because say you're cloned a few times, right? Say you're Britney Spears. Well, you go to sleep and they're able to take your consciousness and put it in a clone. Well, it just so happened, guess what? That night, somebody wanted to know what it's like to burn a person alive.
Oh,
so
my God.
They're experiencing being burned alive until they die, and then they get transferred back to their real body. And so they wake up.
Or it's an accidental consequence of that. Like their consciousnesses don't really know where to localize.
Maybe, but he said that they knew how to move your consciousness over. So that's a part of it. They're able to take your consciousness and move it over.
So they would that's a fucked up thought, like doing it on purpose. Thinking about that example, the burning alive until you die.
Yeah.
Like,
or like being stabbed or like
some like shadow billionaire that no one will ever know his or her name is like, you know what? I've got a lot of money. I want to know what it's like to stab Britney Spears.
Exactly.
And then they pay a couple $1,000,000, and then there's this clone, and then they walk into a room and they're like, "Hi, I'm Britney," and then they just
Yep.
Dude, that is so disturbing. One, but also, I mean, we're on this train of thought of like entertaining ideas.
Yeah.
But this one in particular is more believable than there's a race of beings living on the surface of Venus for me.
Okay. I'll take that as an acceptable answer.
That's just how I feel. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it's very tough to live on the surface of Venus.
So in this video, why do you believe? Hold on. Why do you believe that, dude?
I don't know. Science, dude.
What's the air density pressure of Venus?
Science.
Oh, okay. I believe you.
Thank you.
So yeah, dude. And so he was saying like, that he is one of these people and that's happened to him before. Like he's been burned, he's been cut, he's been stabbed, he's been molested, he's been all this stuff as like a clone. And
is he
so
a famous
now
guy,
he's,
or?
So he apparently wrote a bunch of famous songs. And so for like the music industry. And he even claims that he's on the there's a Megadeth album cover where there's a skull coming out of this dude's chest, and he claims to be the guy on the album cover. Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Okay. Who's this guy?
His name is, what was it? Donald Marshall.
All right, I'll have to look him up later. I won't read it now, but
so it's like 59 minutes and 28 seconds on the Facebook page. Joey Peters posted it, and it's just this dude telling this story, and it's like it's crazy. Yeah, it's a video, and he talks about like how they grow these clones, and So he was like,
Sorry,
yeah,
just
you
the way
can
you say
take
clones is funny. These
clones,
man.
So he says that you can do like the original clone, where like you could just take the sperm and like make a clone of yourself. He was like, but then there's like a fast way, and it takes like 5 weeks, but you can grow like a whole person, like a whole different clone, dude. And
Like
like these
Boba Fett, dude.
yeah, like these big vats of like stuff. He said they just hook them up, and that's
Dude, okay, all right. So the story that I've heard. Well, I guess it's stories now. Now that I'm on TikTok season.
Oh my god!
The stories of witnesses witnessing like basically slaughterhouses where they have like decapitated cattle that are hanging on hooks, but these witnesses say that it was like that, like rows of skinned meat, but they were human bodies. Yeah. So yeah, I need to look up that link. I don't know if we've ever. Have I sent you any of that? Okay, it's fucked up.
No.
So yeah, it's fucked up. Anyway, it circles back to the reptilian kind of thing. It's like, there's like meat farming. That's why they're fucking here, because they're hungry. That's the only reason why humans are why Americans are so voluptuous. It's it's a pretty gruesome idea, but yeah, like I can imagine like clones being that food source. Oh, is that? I heard. Is that Hendrix saying what's up? Dude?
Yeah,
she's practicing her vocals, dude.
She's getting ready for bed.
Oh, Bubba. Well, let me know. I mean, we could pause if you need to take her to bed. Or
no, okay. You're good. You're good. We just went to check out a daycare today, bro, and they like teach baby yoga. They teach baby.
She's
Spanish.
not old enough, dude. That can't be true.
That's what they said.
You said
better.
You said baby Yoda or baby yoga?
Yoga. Yeah. They better for as much money as it is.
Baby Yoda, baby yoga. Dude, that's crazy.
Oh, have you been watching the new Mandalorian?
Fuck yeah, dude. Holy shit, it's so good.
Grogu.
So good. Grogu.
That's so cool that he has a name.
I know. It is. Well, finally. I mean, I kind of hated the name Baby Yoda.
Yeah. I'm glad he has a name finally.
Yeah, me too. But the last episode was kind of sad, man.
The one that came out today?
Oh, fucking. I have not seen the one that came out today.
Yeah, me either.
Don't say anything. Okay, all right,
I'm not. I haven't seen it.
All right. Yeah. No, the one last week. The robot dudes fly off with Grogu.
Yep.
Grogu.
Yep,
what a
I know.
dope name. Grogu.
Dude. Bro, I'm telling you, like, he's about to like whoop some ass. He's about to kill a lot of people.
Grogu is?
Well, Grogu might, but
you're talking about Bobo and Mando. Fuck yeah, dude. And
they're about to.
And what's her name is, dude, they're about to fuck some shit. Dude, I stood up and I cheered when Bobo showed up. When I saw a ship, Jess was like, what are you like so excited about? I was like, that's Boba Fett.
Yes,
I
dude.
got so stoked.
It's funny how people were talking about his dad bod. Because he's got like a belly in his
like
the gun.
Like at first you like they like strategically didn't show you that, but there's like a couple of scenes where you could like see it, which I respect, man, because that's like, hey, yeah, he's been traveling the universe.
It's so great, yeah.
I mean, yeah, just got a couple of bowls of chowder every now and then, you know.
Yeah, they're about to fuck some people up for sure.
Bro, like
it's about to get bad.
When Bobo whipped out that weapon, I've seen similar weapons. I don't know what you call that, but I've seen it when I was in New Zealand. I saw they had like the natives in New Zealand, the Maori, have similar weapons where it's like this big ass fucking club with a spike on it.
Yeah.
I got super stoked. I was like, oh shit. I wonder if he's like a Maori dude or maybe Polynesian. I don't know. I thought that was really cool. I thought it was a really cool callback to the culture or whatever. But yeah, dude. Great episode.
It was good.
His little Grogu's little mouth is so cute. Like he's like starting to talk.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that. Like this season, he's like started to like gurgle.
He's making a lot of like goo goo gaga noises and like squeaking more and stuff.
Yeah, but when he's on that little sphere and he's like in the zone, he's like, he's so fucking cute, man. It's so cute. Oh, I lost it.
Oh, dude, hell yeah. But yeah, man, that was good. So I know you've only seen like clips, dude, of the James Fox and Jacques Vallée on Joe Rogan.
Yes, let's talk about that,
dude. I think that's pretty awesome, honestly. Like, I think
the fact that he was on the show.
Yeah, the fact that he was on the show is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
and it's like, I'm still learning about Jacques Vallée. He seems like a really cool dude. And it's one of those things where like he's written so many books, and it's one thing to say, yeah, there's, thousands and thousands of people that have read his books, but it's another thing to say, dude, millions of people just watch Jacques Vallée talk and say that. Yeah. Like Jacques Vallée, like his point was that he wanted to get across, right? Which I feel like it was more focused on James Fox than it was Jacques, but I kind of feel like
that was a little disappointing, but
I kind of feel like Jacques was like, that's the important piece that like maybe people didn't get. Like if you're not into like the subject, you probably didn't understand the importance of Jacques Vallée. Right. And so it was really cool that like I said, yeah, thousands and thousands of people have read his books, but at this one moment, millions and millions of people saw this dude and like what he had to say. Yeah. And then when you start knowing like, the aviary connections and how long he's been doing this and like, working with, Hynek and just all kinds of badass people, like just throughout his life, and like actually like doing interviews of like these most famous cases that we know about. Yeah. And knowing, the details of all this stuff. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool.
Dude, so I don't mean to cut you off or anything, but
no, go for it.
I had this thought when I saw it pop up on my feed, like Jacques Vallée on fucking Rogan. I thought, honestly, I thought he was dead, dude. I didn't even know he was still alive. No. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be offensive, but like he's such an iconic person in this field. He's been around forever. He's a J. Allen Hynek guy. Like he's been there forever, dude.
A long ass time.
And yeah. I know he's probably only like in his late 60s or early 70s, but like do you get what I mean by I thought he was dead? I mean that he's such an integral, like he's such an integral key and important figure in this whole topic that like it's like thinking like, oh yeah, Einstein, oh yeah, I always forget that he was like alive when there was like photography. Like, oh, yeah. There's a photo of what? Like,
I thought he lived in like the Roman days.
Yes. So that was the vibe when I saw it. I was like, what the fuck? This guy, what? This must be his son. Or I mean, another analogy would be what's the shrooms guy, the trippy his brother is on Rogan. His brother's been on Rogan a bunch. He's the only
shroom guy I know is Peniston. Oh no. You're talking about damn it.
The fuck is his name, dude?
Now I can't think of his name and I feel stupid.
He's a famous
Leary? Is it?
Yes.
Timothy Leary?
Leary. Yes.
His brother.
And so yeah, like I was thinking it was that was where my mind headed. So anyway, that's the beginning. When I saw the clips, I'm thinking this whole time, like, why isn't this guy tooting his own horn? Because most people that we interact with or see podcasts or interviews with are just talking about their new book and their new project they're working on, and they're like, right, hey, this is who I know. Like, I mean, not to call him out, dude, but like Steve Greer's like, yeah, well, I'm fucking like, I know fucking everybody. Like Obama, like I licked his nuts a couple times. Like
Yeah.
everybody's just so self-involved. But this, like, dude, Jacques Vallée didn't talk about himself. He didn't like, it
Not
was
at all.
so chill. You would not even know how important of a figure he is. Like he was,
And
so
that was really
chill
interesting
about
is
it.
I was wondering if, because Joe was probing hard, and I think he knows, but like I wonder if he like understood the significance of Jacques Vallée. I'm sure he did. Joe does his research. He knows who he's talking to,
He's
right?
pretty cavalier with literally everybody.
And I know Dan had pointed out in our group, Dan had pointed out, like he was disappointed that, Jacques was kind of beating around the bush
that,
on a
yeah.
bunch of stuff. And like when you, I guess when you understand his involvement, it's like, I'm kind of surprised he's even talking at all, you know?
Yes.
So like for the fact that he had to like kind of go around some answers, like, I don't know, for me, like, I guess I understood, because he wasn't going to tell you. There was so much banter between Joe Rogan and James Fox that I feel like Jacques Vallée was like, oh, I know the answer to that. I just can't say it.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It almost felt like I almost kind of started to feel bad for the guy. Like I forgot he was even there so often, because James Fox, I mean, awesome dude. Great job.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
Great job on that documentary.
The new one.
Super knowledgeable.
He produces some great stuff, man.
But I'll say this. It was a curious choice to have both of them on, because they're so, like, holy shit, great interviews by themselves. Like, what was the choice there?
Well, because they worked on the documentary together. Jacques was a big part in like helping put all that together. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes
so
sense.
that's what it was. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Somewhere in the Skies
dude.
interview. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it. Go for it.
I was just real quick. Somewhere in the Skies, Ryan Sprague, he interviewed James Fox. Awesome dude. Great interview. Such a humble guy. I was glad that Rogan, his approach was like he's great at digging and like just being a bro and figuring out, not sucking up too much. I'm not saying that Ryan Sprague's sucking up too much, but like I feel like there was a lot more depth that Rogan was able to achieve in certain aspects, and it didn't really. Anyway, I'm digging myself a hole here, but what I guess my whole thing is like that should have been a totally two separate interviews. That's my point.
They have a lot to say, yeah. But can you also see like why Jacques maybe is like, they're like, hey, you guys do that together, like I don't know, like, because 3 hours of just asking Jacques questions is probably a lot of beating around the bush.
So,
but if you have James Fox with him, then it's like he could tell all the stories and Jacques can just kind of fill in the little bits and pieces that are missing, because technically they probably don't want Jacques talking for 3 hours,
dude, that's a great point.
So
damn.
I know that he's done plenty of interviews.
Smart.
Yeah, he's done plenty of interviews, and I mean he's talked, right? But to an audience like that,
well, I'll say this:
like Rogan size is like,
building off of that train of thinking. It's like when Lorian, when we first met her, she told us a little nugget of advice, like, hey, ask the right questions. I think that very well played into, okay, so let's say that Jacques Vallée and Rogan did hang out for 3 hours. Like, would he know the right questions to ask? And again, that's reinforcing what you said. Like, that's why James Fox was in that interview. So boom, full circle. Now it makes sense in my head. And now I feel like it was a good decision. Yeah. Before I was like, I want to listen to Jacques talk for fucking.
Yeah, I know.
I love his voice, dude. Yeah.
He's got a lot of cool stuff to say, but one particularly cool part of that interview was when they talked about, on my home screen, how I have the Capitol with the UFOs over it.
Yeah.
How they talked about one of them actually got shot and like a piece of it got blown out.
Yes.
And they had the piece.
Yeah.
Right. And it was interesting, like hearing Joe ask him certain questions, like, so what about this piece?
So you could tell his mind was like, hold on.
and Jacques was just like, well, I don't think I'm the right scientist to ask that question to. And Joe's like, why? He's like, well,
bro,
just a lot of other crashes. And he just starts talking about all this other stuff. And it's like one of those things where, like, to me, like, I'm getting all awkward inside because I know, like, it feels like Jacques can't answer that question, and Joe is like probing super hard.
Yes.
So I'm like getting awkward because I'm like, Joe, he probably can't answer that.
Yes.
Dude,
see, my mind didn't even think to go there. I was just frustrated that Jacques was just beating around the bush and being so fucking vague. And I thought it was because he was like being empathetic towards the guest that was there and didn't, I don't know, my brain did not go there, but that's, I think, the correct path that probably happened is like, he probably couldn't fucking answer your question. Like,
yeah,
the fact that he was there, he was probably detailed by some MyLabs SUVs. And he's probably thinking like, man, I just stopped at like McDonald's on my way over here. And like even the cashier had a name tag that said MyLabs on it. Like, I can't say shit today, bro. I'm here to drink whiskey and maybe get a little bit of room high.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I thought it was a really cool interview. A really, really cool interview for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I watched. So the clips, the JRE clips. I was looking at through my phone while I was telling you about this earlier, but like, yeah. I'm dumb. Anyway, so I just watched a bunch of clips instead of the whole fucking thing. But I think I got the most important. I got the gist of it, but it wasn't something that I would be like, holy shit, I'm gonna show my kids one day. Like I didn't think to like, oh, I need to download this before the FBI takes it down or something.
Yeah.
It was cool.
I downloaded it, man. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm downloading this immediately.
I didn't know.
It's in the grand scheme of things, it's probably not like super significant, but it is a really cool, interesting interview for Rogan to have. But
fuck yeah,
it was also cool too because he had that aspect of like, the military controls all of this. He was like, that's pretty much what the deal is. They control all of it. And
Rogan said that?
No, Jacques
did.
Yeah. Jacques had said that, it's really military controlled, and how he would like to see more academia get involved, because to just strictly look at this thing like a threat is wrong.
I guess I did not. I missed that part. That's awesome that he said that.
Yeah. He says that, it's pretty dangerous to just think of it like that. You have to like take all aspects of this. And he also said, Rogan was probing him about, how after all these years, what's your conclusion? And Jacques was like, look, I'm not going to answer that. I don't really have a conclusion, but he did say that whatever it is, whatever this phenomena is, whether it be interdimensional or alien, whatever you want to call it, he says, whatever it is, it seems to be teaching us something. And so he was like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, you look at all these cases and you have people, talking about being warned about certain technologies. You have people that are being warned about the planet. You have people that are being warned about, just these certain parts of our everyday life. And he's like, there has been like, out of all these cases, he's like, I think there's like 15 where there was like a violent interaction. But other than that, all the other cases seem to have some sort of like lesson behind whatever it is that they said.
Okay. So yeah, I remember that in pieces, but the sentiment is stuck in my head because the question that I asked myself is, okay, So you're saying that the overall perspective that he has is that these entities are visiting us. Is it benevolently? Like benevolently? So they're not like harming us, right? Like they're not. There's no ulterior motive. There's like, hey, it's all good and happy and sunshine and crystals and love and frequencies. But from 2 weeks ago when we were in Arkansas and doing this documentary, talking with contactees, their experiences are not so pleasant. So it's interesting that a man of Jacques' stature has that steadfast perspective, and he didn't really talk about the horrific nature that is contact or can be contact.
Well, he doesn't dismiss it. He fully understands that there's
I don't think he ever acknowledged the terrifying nature of it, though. The whole interview. I'm talking specifically on this interview. I'm gonna turn my phone on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think they got into the negative aspect of it.
Yeah,
for sure. But
it's almost like shit. Was it a in the moment decision to not bring that up because it's a fucking bummer, or is it just like
I don't know, man. I think if you're somebody who's involved with like thousands and thousands and thousands of cases, and you kind of have this big picture, like it scares the shit out of people and it freaks them out.
Yeah.
But that end message of whatever it was that they came away with was maybe somewhat positive in the long run, right?
So then,
like because you have a negative experience right now, what is that long run like outcome?
Right.
You know, things that are good are sometimes scary.
Right. So what?
And that's an assumption. I don't know.
Yeah. No. I mean, let's break that down. So, you can see my peeling hands. My hands are still peeling from fucking Arkansas, dude. I dried out like a turtle, man. So what? Let's break that down though. Like that train of thought, right? Like you're not saying that. Anyway, so the idea that he is. So what we're saying is that he made a choice basically to not bring that up. To say he only said like, yeah, there's some shit going on, and we probably need to pay attention to it. And they seem to be nonviolent, and that's my stance on it. Basically, right?
That's kind of what yeah.
So, but we know, so a lot of people that have had very negative experiences, so choosing not to bring that up and not to even mention that, either, and I might be simplifying this, but either he's saying like the percentage of people that have bad experiences are nil, like they don't matter compared to the overall outcome of what's going to happen. Like overall, like, look, hey, we're going to go to the New World on a big wooden boat, okay? And we're going to go to America and people are going to die. You just eat some oranges. Most of you will be fine. But in the end, we're going to have Facebook. So let's get on the fucking wooden ship for 3 months, right?
Right.
Mayflower. Let's go. So
absolutely,
it's that type of thinking that in itself inherently it's propaganda, because propaganda means it's steering, it's choosing to leave out specific information and guiding, and cherry picking, right? It's like you're really trying to go for an agenda there. Is that making any sense?
I mean, I could see that, but I can also see how this subject is so huge that they just didn't get to that part. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because also Jacques...
Because Joe could have asked that question.
Right. But, you know, like a lot of these people that remember all this stuff, it's done through like hypnosis, right? But Jacques thinks that it's dangerous, so he doesn't mess with it.
Dude, I mean, if we're going to talk about that for a second,
He's literally showing up and dealing with like people who have seen this thing, like the we're talking, like shit, what was it called? Remember
Chuck E. Cheese.
No. What was that one case that we were talking about with the that village?
Zimbabwe.
Oh, okay. So the Zimbabwe one, I mean, that's a good example, right? Like those kids just saw that shit, right? And then like, he goes, interviews, talks to people, and that's that. There's no like regression or like, they're not going back into like this negative state because he doesn't do that.
Right.
So he's just taking these like eyewitness accounts. He's taking like police reports and studying this.
He as in Jacques is.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. So there's other people that do the hypnosis side of things, right? That probably know about the more negative cases. I'm sure Jacques knows all about the negative cases. Yeah. But if he's not like a proponent of like hypnotism, right? Because he says that like once it got into the UFO community, there was so much leading. So maybe he just doesn't subscribe to that. So
I can see why.
Case, to him, it might just be like, well, you had this negative experience because you were hypnotically regressed. You could have been planted this negative experience that maybe didn't happen at all.
Bro.
Right?
I think this is a very important thing to bring up because I personally think it is dangerous. The regression stuff, I never want to get regressed. Our friends in this field that have offered like, hey, you guys obviously, so I'm speaking from one of our friends telling us like, hey, yeah, you guys are being contacted, so you guys need to get regressed. I have always, and steadfast, fuck that. No. Because, dude, no. First off, we don't know who's doing this. Like hypnosis? Like who? Yeah. How do you just be like, oh, well, this guy's a doctor scientist. He'll be fine. He won't lead me in any direction. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Because I don't trust it personally. Right now, I don't trust it. The regression stuff.
I'm a little on the fence about it. I would do it just to see if they could do it. Because remember, I told you that story about the hypnotist coming to my high school and he couldn't hypnotize me. And so I was like the one dork who had to like go sit down in front of the whole fucking senior class because I was the only one that wasn't hypnotized. I don't know if it's because I have a strong mind or whatever it is, dude. But like,
it's your dwarf nature.
It must be, but I think I would let them do it just to see if they could. And then if I found out some shit, so be it.
You can't stop it once you're in it. I mean,
or if they did the hypnosis, right? And then afterwards I woke up, I would be like, was there some shit? And they were like, yeah. I would be like, okay, don't tell me. Yeah. I just wanted to know that there was some shit.
So that's also another interesting part about this. Cause come on, the human brain, we don't know shit about.
Yeah.
We could see some effects and some like, cause and effect things happening. Okay, well, we regressed this person, but do we really know what we're actually doing? Or do those people know what the fuck? I don't know. They could like, I'm not like trying to talk shit on that. If anybody's listening that knows somebody or is a regressionist, like I'm not talking shit, dude. I'm just saying like, do you really know what you're doing to the mind? Because it's a very complicated thing. And
yeah, I agree.
I agree. You could be putting Joe, you're making some really valid points that I think a lot of people need to hear on this podcast, dude. Like, come on. Like if you're hypnotized and could be told that you can never, if you hear the word chicken, you'll forget your ABCs. If that's a possibility, dude,
then what are people planting in your head?
What else is a possibility? That's an unattended. Let's say it's an unattended effect, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, and I mean it's also like it could be totally unintentional, right? It could the lead could be completely unintentional.
So
you could
was there?
It could be like your own bias as a hypnotherapist. You could say, so what did this being look like? But to you haven't even mentioned a being. They're just assuming that they're regressing you for an alien abduction, so they're automatically going to say, "So what did this being look like?" Or
Yeah.
"What is the being saying?" But
Yeah.
like, really, you're not even seeing a being until somebody said the word being. So now in your subconscious, you put this being there that wasn't there in the first place.
Yeah.
But and I'm sure, like, we're just talking about it. Like, people have thought about this. I'm sure they're very careful about it because you don't want to be leading people in these sessions, right? But it's a possibility, and that's why some people don't approve of it, because not everybody is like that. There's going to be some people that are assholes and will do that. So,
yeah. Well, if you have a career that is made up of abduction regression, and that's how you make your living, you would think that you would protect your investment and make damn sure. It's like a ghost hunter or a medium. Like, you're gonna find something, because that's what you're getting paid for. If you didn't find anything, you're like, well, I gotta give the money back, right? Like, well, yeah. I went to this like fortune teller, and she was just like, yeah, you're gonna have a good day tomorrow. And I was like,
yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, well, I guess, all right. Well, can I like have half of my money back?
Seriously.
And then, it's like that vibe. Like, if you're getting paid for it, I mean, this might be going down a whole different rabbit hole, but yeah, it's like you almost have to have some sort of terrifying experience come out of your regression, because you're getting it done by a regression therapist that specializes in abductions. Like,
yeah.
But that's also, again, our friends that have offered, it suggested us doing that, did say they would recommend us talking to somebody that wasn't a specialty or a specialist.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So our friends
that's responsible.
Yeah. Our friends that we were talking about, like, they're responsible about it, but they did.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I thought I'd mention that in case.
Hey, I'm going to go take a piss real quick.
Oh, dude, me
talk
too.
about our buddies.
Yeah. Well, I gotta pee too.
Oh, man.
Fuck.
We'll just pause it. We'll intermission.
All right.
We'll intermission right
we'll
here.
Pause it. All right.
Wow. Spill wine everywhere.
All right. We're back.
2:32. What's the pen?
How's your poop, dude?
Pretty good. Solid. Fibrous.
Solid, dude.
Healthy.
Yeah. Mine was like silk. Like, very strong. Fibrous. Stringy.
Yes.
Do like, so COVID poops. COVID poops were gnarly, dude.
It's a different kind of poop.
Oh my god. Yeah, like deep, like dark. Like, it was like wiping a Sharpie. Like, it just never ended. It's crazy.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's intense.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Dude. Well, shit, man. All right, so we were talking about
Regression.
I just spilled so much wine on my pants. We're talking about regression, and I think it's a perfect segue into what our next topic is. I mean, this is a solid episode already.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
But yeah, so we're talking about regression and leading. Like, okay, we're all human, man. Like, no one's perfect, and it's not a science that anyone could. I'm sure there's books written about it, but do you really know the effects of putting someone in a vulnerable hypnotic state and being totally 100% sure that you never suggested anything that could lead to a negative or existential experience that involved something else? I mean, dude, I always think about the idea that there's a possibility, and I'm not the first to say this, but everyone, like anyone that's had a vivid dream or experience that they've been abducted has something to do with like memories of birth. So like being born, like bright lights, you're on a cold table, and there's like weird creatures with like hands and gloves, and like there's tools, and like there's snipping of, and there's like I think there's something to that for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it describes every abduction experience. I'm just saying, like, maybe there's a couple people out there that maybe have mistaken that childhood birth memory that's like deep seated in their DNA,
right?
That pops up when you've eaten too many carrots. You know, like who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. The brain is weird.
I agree. It is weird. And again, we're not dogging regression hypnotherapists or anything. We're just saying that, you know, it might be one of those things, dude, where you have like, there's like 30% badass regression hypnotherapists, and then there's like 70% not that good. So I'm saying it's like if you're gonna go to a regressionist, right? If you're gonna go to a regressionist, you got to take the same approach as like if you're gonna go get a tattoo. Like you got to fucking make sure these people know what they're doing, because that's some shit you're gonna be stuck with for life. So
fucking hell,
do your research first. I'm not saying that they're all bad. I'm saying like there's probably some great ones, and just do your research, because you don't want to get stuck with a shitty regressionist, dude. I mean, can you imagine?
That is such a good analogy.
Possibilities are endless, or personalities are endless. What the hell?
Endless, dude. That sounds like a dope band name, dude.
The possibilities are endless. Is what I meant to say.
Dude,
too many, man.
That's such a good analogy, though. Like, because once I've never been through this, but like, yeah, their regressions, shit. Can you imagine how traumatizing that would be to have a memory? Memories are this is what we don't live in the present. Our human brains live in the past or the future. There is no, I mean, there's like the idea of like, oh, just be present. Just be present. Just sit there, like, let your thoughts pass. Well, like, dude, we live in the fucking past and the future. So
all the time,
if you incept an idea, a construct that you are made to believe that fucking happened, dude, that is powerful. That is,
because it affects your present and your future dramatically. Yeah, dude. You're not fucking the rest of your life. You're not fucking with this ain't no henna tattoo. It's not gonna go away, dude. Right. I mean, say one morning you wake up and you look over and you're kind of in that still asleep stage, and you saw your cat in the window, and then you got regressed, and then they were like, dude, that was a fucking alien. And so like for the rest of your life, dude, you've been touched by an alien, but instead like it was actually your cat Squiggles, and like instead of being Squiggles, it's a fucking alien now for the rest of your life.
Dude, yes, bro. Squiggles. You remember Mr. Griggles, dude?
Oh yeah, I remember Mr. Griggles.
That was the best cat ever.
Yeah, he was cool. He was like a dog.
Yeah, dude. It was actually it was a she, and I had the name before the cat. I knew that I wanted a cat.
Yeah.
Named Mr. Griggles. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I don't know. I'm weird.
Yeah.
But, oh man, she was such a good cat. Anyway,
I
dude.
remember that cat.
So think about like inserting. We are talking about Inception, really. It's you're planting. So Inception is fucking real. It's real.
Totally, it is.
Like, and the people that go to let's even break that down even further. I mean, I don't want to spend a whole bunch of more time on this, but break it down even further just for a second, and feel free to chime in whenever. But like the type of person that is even willing to contact and meet with and spend a couple of hours with somebody to regress their experience has got to be a specific type of person. I mean, am I right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, either they're a normal person that has had a really fucking crazy thing happen to them, or they had like a series of insane dreams, or they have some type of traumatic. I'm not going to try to pretend. I mean, I am a doctor scientist, but I'm like not going to try to pretend what would compel somebody to even do a regression therapy session. But
Right.
when that's all automatically, you're starting out in a vulnerable state, because that person knows that you're coming to them for help. Like, hey, I want to figure this shit out. Like, I know some shit happened to me, but I don't know what. So automatically that person that's giving that regression therapy has this like God complex. Where like, oh, I'm going to try to help this person figure out what the fuck happened to them. And like, you can't just end that session with like, fucking, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
you can't.
You can't just be like, and then like, it'll be $200, please.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I don't know.
That's $200.
I don't know what happened to you, but that shit's crazy.
That's fucking. Hey, remember that you said that thing? That was crazy, dude.
That was crazy.
Damn.
So what's wrong?
I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a guy you can talk to.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, you've been implanted with this idea that like, you know what? The guy couldn't figure out what happened to you, so he was like, yeah, I don't know, fucking aliens probably though.
Yeah.
So now you have aliens in your life that you didn't have before.
Yeah. Turns out it was just hemorrhoids. You weren't anally probed, and now you're stuck with just thinking that. And then you never get your hemorrhoid problem fixed because you just think you're being probed.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Dude, all right, I was going to share a really intimate story, but I won't. I'm not going to say that on air. It's really fucking out there, dude. I've never told you this shit, dude. All right, fuck it, I'll tell it.
I was going to say, you
I'll
can't say that and then not say it.
All right, so the only reason it came up is because I'm making an analogy in my head about anal probes. Okay. All right. Get ready.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. So, dude, I had this biology teacher freshman year of high school, and the intro story, she's like, hi, I'm so-and-so. This is biology. Anyway, so when I was a kid, like completely started telling this wacko story. When I was a kid, this is why I got it. The reason was, this is why she got into biology, is this thing happened to her when she was a child. My biology teacher in high school. She was like, yeah, when I was a kid, I got hookworms, and they live in your rectum, and we got them from the dogs, and our whole family got them, and I would wake up in the middle of the night, and I'd feel like this tingly, like tickly sensation around my butthole, and I'd wake up, and like it'd be really itchy, and there was fucking worms that live in your rectum that like pop out and like say hello. And they live there because it's like warm, and like they eat off of your fecal matter and all that stuff. So like fucking first day of biology, I'm like, holy shit, did not know that existed. So therefore after, anytime like I've got like a wild hair up my ass, and I've had some dreams every now and then, I'll wake up because like I have like this fucking hair on my asshole. Man, come on, everybody's got hair on their asshole. I'm not the only one.
It's like every time I have an itchy asshole, I assume it's hookworms.
Do you get it? It's like you now you realize why I brought this up. So like I was implanted this idea a long time ago that there was a thing that I didn't need to know, and probably no one needed to know. And now anytime my asshole itches, I'm thinking, oh, I've fucking got hookworms, man. I got some. So
I've got hookworms.
Yeah.
That's funny as shit.
So that's my analogy. I did not plan on sharing that tonight, and now thousands, maybe millions of people know about this.
Well, I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you got it off your chest. I'm sure you feel like a better person.
I got it out of my ass for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Hell yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah. But yeah, so like the point is like you can implant something in someone's brain, and then it affects them for the rest of their lives, dude.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Fucking hey, man. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, while we're talking about dreams, do we want to get into the next Little.
Yeah, I'm down.
I mean, are we good on time? Are you good? I mean, this is
Yeah, I'm good.
already been a
I'm
solid
good.
podcast. We don't have to spend a whole bunch of time about it. I was
Yeah,
just listening back to an episode a couple episodes ago, and I was like, "Fucking Joe, damn dude, like we need to talk about that more."
yeah. I mean, I don't, dude. I mean, it's one of those things where like I don't really know how much more there is to the story other than the fact that it's so vivid that I remember it perfectly today.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of strange. I don't know. I just remember I'm standing in like this. It's like a black room.
This is a dream.
Right, it's a dream.
Yeah.
I'm standing in like this but it's like a big ass room. It's like a cafeteria. Like it's a big ass room. And like just I see the windows and I can just see stars everywhere. And I know that there's people like sitting at tables, but I don't think they're people. Like I think there's a few people, but I don't think all the people sitting at the tables are people. And I can feel like, I don't know, like maybe I'm standing in a line or something, or maybe I'm just standing in the middle of this cafeteria setting with all these badass stars. But like I can feel other people like standing around me, but I don't feel like there's nothing to my right. I know that. But to my left, there's something. I don't think there are people either, but it didn't bother me. But I know that there was like people there. But the ones that were to my left and a few others sitting in this like cafeteria space, they weren't all people, whatever it was.
Were there like tables, like multiple tables, or like long rows of tables?
No, they were more like circular tables. They probably held like 5 or 6 people at each table.
So was there like the cool kids table?
Might have been. I don't know.
That was I realized that was not funny, but like you like there's like groups, right? Like were there groups, or was everybody had their own table? Or
it seemed like in this area there was probably like 3 to 4 people. Like we'll say that the cafeteria was like 25% full. Like there wasn't a lot of people in there, but there was like
you
3
said
to
that
4.
exact same thing last time, and I'm glad that's a very specific a detail. Sorry to cut you off, but just so everybody else knows, like that's exactly what you said last time. Like the story has not changed.
Yeah, it was strange. Like literally, like that's what I remember. And
so sorry, so 25% full, and then what else do you remember? Like, was there like
say there was like 50 tables or something, maybe like 15. 20, not even 20, like maybe like 15 tables were like full with like 3, and they were all mixed. It was like some weren't human, but some were human, but they were all like sitting at just random tables.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
I'm
just standing there.
If you could pick a color scheme, what would you say?
Oh, dude,
color
easily scheme. Black, like the ground black, the walls black, everything black. I see the natural light from the outside, like maybe like I'm seeing the stars, but maybe off to like where I can't see through like a window, like where it's a wall. Yeah. Like maybe there's a sun, like a star right there, right? So there's like this natural light, but everything is black. And whatever these people are wearing, it's white.
Whoa. Okay, so that was not what I was picturing. I was picturing like everything's like this color scheme I had mine was mainly white and like some blue. Like there was some accents of like blue on the chairs or something like that. But
no,
totally
the chairs and tables were like a gray. They were gray. They were almost white, but they were definitely gray. Okay. But they could have almost been white.
Yeah.
But they were like that shade of gray. It was like a really light gray. In like this all black room, and then these big ass windows with a bunch of stars.
Yeah.
And then like this side light type thing on my right. That's why I said like there was things on my right. I mean, on my left, there was like these people on my left, but there was nothing to my right because I remember it was dark over here.
Right.
So maybe there was like a door or something, but whatever was over there was like, it was like bright.
Yeah.
So that's why I would assume it'd be like next to like, you know, your home sun or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
I'm visualizing it, and you're being very descriptive. I'm just like, I'm visualizing it in my head. So when you say 50 tables, that automatically makes that room very big, like maybe twice the size of a gymnasium. So everybody kind of knows what a gymnasium looks like.
yeah,
I don't know in feet what that would be, but maybe twice the size. And to my left, I mean, the only like close visualization I can think of is a scene out of Star Wars, right? Like when you're in the hangar and there's like, or like Pandora on Avatar. Like there's like a hangar environment where there's four walls. Was it four walls?
no, it wasn't four walls. It was definitely, like I said, like a donut. Like if it was a big ass donut.
You said that.
So it had like this curvature to it, and the windows followed the curvature.
Dude.
So, like,
so when you looked out in front of you, you saw, but you said you saw stars everywhere. So does that mean there were stars?
oh no, you're good. Sorry.
What was that?
That was my
that your
phone.
It
Yeah.
sounded like a distorted guitar.
It's
thought you were
on
about to-
it vibrates when it rings too. So
I thought you were about to fucking jam, dude.
yeah.
So when you say stars everywhere, like describe the ceiling, the walls. I mean, you said donut.
So if you could imagine like this donut shape all the way around, if like,
And where are you standing within this donut? Because there's like the center.
probably-
The center is missing out of a donut. We're not talking about a
Right.
sphere, right?
right. So yeah, it could have been like a full like circle, like filled in all the way.
Yeah.
But from where I was in the cafeteria, I know that there was something like a wall, like a divider of some sort. So like, but I know it had this circular curvature to it.
Yeah.
And there was absolutely like a floor and a ceiling, but I know that they like came together like a donut, you know? So if you imagine, if you can imagine like 4 big windows that are probably like 20 foot long, maybe 30 foot long, but also like maybe 8 foot, 12 foot high. They were that big along the sides of the wall. And they were like 1, 2, 3, and like maybe a fourth one, but you could see nothing but stars out of it. And the one to my far right, before it got real black, there was just like this light that was coming through, like off to the side. Like I knew that there was something bright over in that area, but I couldn't see what it was.
So what makes you think it was a cafeteria? Was it like, could you smell food, or like what made you think?
The environment of just like hanging out.
Yeah.
Like nobody was doing anything. Like everybody was literally just sitting at tables, just chit chatting,
Playing like Pokemon and shit. Like,
yeah, like whatever they wanted. It wasn't like I don't know. It gave me
like a recreational.
Yeah.
There was no mission.
He gave me this definitely a cafeteria auditorium vibe,
Yeah.
you know?
But you didn't feel like a sense of like, there's a reason why we're here. It's just like, this is like a mundane part of whatever scenario I'm in. So were you holding anything? Like, do you remember holding a tray, or
No.
were you like in line for something? You expressed this sense of that you were, yes.
I feel like I was just, so to me, I think there was it was like multi-layered. It's probably like a higher layer, and then the lower layer is where everybody sat. I'm standing up on this like higher layer looking out kind of, but it's not like something super high, like I am the king. It's like maybe like a 4 foot difference, maybe, you know? It's multi-leveled, but I'm just up on the higher level looking out over this cafeteria, and I know that there's like some people to my left.
Yeah.
And everything is dark. There's these big badass windows, and they all have on white clothes.
Dude. I'm just like, I'm trying to put myself in that position. So I'm like, I'm sorry if I'm like asking the same questions over and over, but like, I'm just trying to get it right because I know you have such intimate detail of it. Like I want to put
it's
myself
weird.
there. Like, and it's insane that you have such vivid recollection that has been very. It's the same. I mean, as you're saying stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, Joe said that exact same thing last time you told the story. There are some details that we're getting into now that I didn't ask, and that's why I wanted to bring it up because I had so many questions. And I mean, again, okay, so I'll ask another one. So it's already asked, like, were you waiting in line for anything? And I already asked the question of, like, was there any kind of, like, purpose for you being there? Or it was just, like, a moment of time. So it leads me into my next question, like, how long of what time span is this memory? Is it, like, a couple seconds, or was it a long time?
I'm probably standing there. I'm probably there at the longest for, like, maybe a minute. At the shortest,
which is a long fucking time,
probably like 30 seconds, but I'm just standing there. And like, for me, like I'm seeing like everybody sitting at these tables and like, I feel people to my left and I am, I'm aware that not all of them are humans, but the sight of everything out of the windows, like just captivated me. I almost didn't care that there was humans and something else at these tables because I was so like in awe of like what I was seeing out of the windows.
Right.
You know, so I was more fixated on the windows and just aware that all this other shit was around.
Right.
But really, I was interested in the space out there.
Yeah.
It was, and that's what I really remember was like how like just fucking in awe I was looking out the windows in space.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
So
it was cool.
It makes me think of another question. It even digs deeper, man, into the I guess the frame of mind one would have in that scenario. If okay, let's just like fucking storybook going off the walls ideas here, throwing out shit. Let's say that you were a part of some kind of, let's say, 20 and back program, and this is a memory that you're having, or you're connecting to some other consciousness to a different timeline in the multiverse, and your consciousness just happened to be like, you know what, like let's drag that into this folder here, and then Joe, you remember this amount, but that's not you weren't there, like that's your consciousness in a totally different timeline universe, and that happened 4 million years ago.
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you the feeling that I have about the dream is not like, it wasn't scary, it wasn't happy, but like it was almost like through the whole dream I was just saying thank you for letting me see this. Like the view,
shit.
Like I was just really appreciative, like the dream, like I'm really appreciative of the dream,
like nostalgic in a way.
Yeah. So like if I was there, I wasn't like, I was probably happy, but like the feeling of it was appreciative. It was like, I would normally, dude, me and you are never going to see what space looks like. Nope. We'll never see it. So like for me, it's always been like, I would love to see space. I would just love to see what it looks like up there. Right. So it was almost like whatever, like the dream was like, here you go.
Yeah.
Here's what it looks like. And so the dream to me, like, is like an appreciative feeling. Yeah. It wasn't scary. It wasn't like I thought about it too much. It was just like very like, I was super appreciative.
Right.
So
I love that. I love that sentiment. Like, and that goes hand in hand with like, I guess the other question to the end of that last question is, if you were to somehow tap into a memory of a different timeline, Joe, 4 million years ago, and this happened 4 million years ago, this is a different Joe, but your consciousness tapped into it. It would almost be like in that moment, like whatever you're seeing is totally normal. Like you see this shit every day. Right? Yeah. Like that's your job. Like, you work on this fucking spacecraft, and this is what people fucking do, dude. Like, no one's got COVID, and I live on a donut. Like this is just this is normal. But the fact that the feeling of like wonderment and just like pure joy and appreciation tells me that either, okay, all right, number one, it was just a dream. Cool, fucking dream.
Right.
Great. That's fucking fun. I've never had a dream like that. But and then number two, or possibly number two is that let's throw all the cards out there and say that your consciousness was able to, or someone was able to connect you to some other reality that this happened. And then how like people say like when you're doing something that you really don't think is right, like if you're like taking a right on red and there's a sign that says right right on red between 5 and 7 p.m. or whatever, whatever, and then you're like, I know this is bad, but I'm gonna fucking do it because I'm in a hurry, and you like feel bad about it. And like that example is your future self reflecting off on that mistake. And like, that's why you feel weird. Like maybe taking that type of reflection kind of understanding into like copy and paste that into this scenario where like you're experiencing this scenario in your dreamlike state. Right.
Right.
Are you? I'm kind of losing myself as I'm saying this, but
well, I'm kind of following. Yeah.
Yeah. But like you're tapping into something that could possibly be totally fucking real. And like, and now like you're back in this reality and it's just a fucking dream, dude. That's cool. All right. Nice.
Yeah. 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 I mean, you could go, I tell you what, I got to pee again. Give me 1 second. Hold that thought.
All right. I'll talk about our sponsors.
Yeah. And we'll go down a little rabbit hole with that. Okay.
Hold on. Fuck yeah, dude. All right. I'm going to try to talk about our sponsors and shit. I guess that's what podcasts do. Okay. Hey, guys. Thanks for listening. If you made it this far, thanks for hanging out with us tonight or this evening or this morning. Really appreciate it. I apologize for being on a hiatus for the last couple of weeks. I've had COVID. I've had the Rona. All right. I got the Rona. I've been talking shit about Rona for months and I got it. Okay. So I fully expect everyone to give me shit about that. I never said that it wasn't real. I just said, like, I'm not going to get it. I'm healthy as a horse, but I got it. Anyway, so UFO Garage PC, guys. That's our website, ufogaragebpc.com. UFOs, aliens, all things weird. That's our podcast. Me and Joe. We're just talking about shit. We just make this shit for free. This is fun. This is what we do for fun. Like every Thursday evening for the past almost 2 years, we have been getting together to talk about UFOs, aliens, and all things weird. And we've been able to talk to a lot of really amazing people, and it's been amazing so far. And anyway, so it's free to listen. But it costs a little bit to maintain. So one of the ways you guys can support us is going to our website and buying some merch, dude. We've got some cool shirts. UFOGaragePC.com. Check out our shirts. If you're a longtime listener, you'll understand the reference of the Dr. Scientists. That's a shirt. It says Dr. Scientist on it. It's got a little beaker with a...
And Cinematary.
And Cinematary is a shirt on there as well. I fixed those, by the way.
Awesome.
I fixed it. We got the V-necks. I'm wearing the V-neck with the 64 Impala. It doesn't say UFO Garage or anything. It's not like super brandy. It's very, very subtle. So if you're not if you're one of those people that's like, I don't wear Abercrombie and Fitch. I like girls that hang out in a ditch. Anyway, this is a shirt for you. It's very subtle. It's just got a little UFO on it. And that's the UFO that Joe and I plan on building once the technology is released. But yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
You came back in the perfect timing, dude.
I know. Okay, so check this out. I had this thought. Like, you know how they say that like your thoughts and like what you do, like it, if you exist here, but you also exist on like an infinite amount of timelines, right? But like things that you do, like with this quantum entanglement, like everything, like your thoughts and everything, it gets projected out into time, space, the universe, everything, right? So what if me just existing on all these infinite different timelines? Like there's a timeline where it's me standing in this cafeteria space, looking out into space. And you know how like when you doze off, how you're kind of meditating and you don't even realize it, but then you kind of come to. So picture me standing in this cafeteria area. I'm in space and I'm just looking out into space, right? And I zone off and I put out this vibration, right? This resonance into time and space in the universe. And it just so happens that me right here in this time, I want to see space so bad that through the infinite timelines, that thought resonates with me in this timeline. So that's why I was able to pick it up or see it, because it was me just from a different timeline. But it didn't affect any of the other timelines because it doesn't resonate with them the way it resonates with me personally. Or maybe it did. Maybe it did resonate through like a few 100,000 million, whatever different timelines. I just so happen to be one of them, you know?
Yeah, you're not the only one. It's called.
Yeah.
I would go even for. I love this. It's called sympathetic resonance. It's like when I make a loud noise, hey, my guitar is like ring. You know, it's like they not understand it. We're just like putting a human construct on it, but linking minds together and the vastness that we don't understand about the mind. Yeah, dude, it's totally possible that the consciousness that we're able to, let's say that can we fairly say that we emit consciousness? Like thought is emitting.
Yeah.
Is that like a physical, like emitting consciousness throughout the universe? Like, dude, I love that idea that you just said. You're literally resonating, which means like two frequencies are matching up perfectly in sync. Across the cosmos. I mean, if you're thinking about the multiverse theory where there's infinite universes, there's a universe, there's a Joe out there that's constantly just being tripped out because he's constantly like in sync with another Joe in another universe, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that there's an idea that you, for just a second, were in a state of mind to resonate for like a minute and be in sync with a different reality Joe is totally possible. I fucking love that.
Because I know, like, I feel like in the dream, I tried to like look, but like it would get blurry off to the side. I could only see in front of me. So if this other me was constantly staring forward, that would be my only frame of vision in his consciousness, because he's not looking side to side. That's why I can only feel what's off to my sides. I can't see him. I can't see the light, and I can't see the people off to the left, but I can see the people sitting in front of me down in the cafeteria area in these big, awesome windows with space. So I can only see his front vision, you know?
That's so cool. So...
because me,
so
in the dream, I try to look side to side, and I can't. It gets blurry.
Right.
So...
dude.
Yeah.
Like... all right, tapping into the what we know about conscious dreaming. There's a word for it. Dang it. When you're like conscious and you're like able to affect your dreams and everything.
Like lucid dreaming?
Lucid dreaming, dude. Yes. That idea. I'm not saying it's what you experienced, but same.
It probably is.
Same concept though. Like when you try to affect your surrounding, you wake up or you go on to the next dream. And like, I mean, one of my favorite movies is Inception. Again, I'll say the word again. Like, as soon as you realize that you're dreaming, you're like, ah, and then you wake up. So the fact that you remember that and can visualize and contextualize that is super powerful to me. Because, dude, that's fucking... like, you just can't come up with that for fun, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's pretty amazing. That in layman's terms, the people, you're saying it in a way that I can understand it, which is, awesome.
Yeah, well, it's the only way I understand it. So
So like I know like you and I are like fucking like super fucking smart. So like we have to dumb it down for
We
like
have to
the
dumb it
podcast.
down.
Yeah, for the podcast.
Absolutely.
And Cinnamon Cherry
Absolutely.
Cinnamon Cherry is listening, so we have to dumb it down.
we have to.
But
You guy's an idiot. He's only good at playing bongos. That's it.
Goes down Sixth Street, down.
Yeah, man.
I loved like telling Nico about Cinnamon Terry on our road trip up to Arkansas.
Yeah, that was great.
We're like, you ever heard of Cinnamon Terry?
You haven't heard of him?
We went on. We like drug that on for like 5 minutes, and he was like so nice about it.
He was like, Cinnamon Terry? I've never even heard of that guy. Like, yeah, dude. He hangs out in Austin.
Yeah, dude. Oh
He was
shit!
like, I've never seen him. That's good. Hell yeah.
Oh my god. Fucking.
But yeah, dude, I mean that's the dream, man. I mean that's what I remember.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I know as soon as we get off, I'm gonna be like, fuck, I should have asked whatever question. But I feel like I got most of my questions out there. Like, I just remember again, like listening to that episode, and I texted you immediately because I was like editing a video, and I ended up watching it because somebody made an asshole comment, and I was like, all right, well, what are they talking about? So I started watching it, and you were telling that story later on, like much later. And I was like, why the fuck didn't I pry into that? It's like the same feeling we got when we were talking to Chad and Alta. Like Chad
yeah.
was starting to tell us about this amazing ET experience, and then we just like, and back to,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
we need to call.
It's weird because you almost like have to process it first for you to have questions.
That's kind of, yeah. I would agree. That's kind of how I felt with Chad's story. Like it was so out there. Like I didn't really think of anything to ask him until a couple days later.
Yeah, now I have like 30 questions.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to. We'll get to
Yeah.
for sure.
Like,
But
where does Cinnamon Terry come from? Also, dude, hold on. Sorry, this has just popped into my head. What do we know about Arcturians? Why is that so important in my mind? Arcturians. Why is that so important? Arcturian.
So the little guy in the big guy's head in Men in Black, he was an Arcturian. Also,
Dude. Yes.
Also,
fucking yes. That is what it is. Absolutely.
All right.
Because I just watched MIB and I just watched this other video that referenced Arcturians. I'm like, why the fuck is that so familiar?
Also, I'll give you a hint. She's an Arcturian hybrid.
Right.
Yep.
V. Shit. Shit, what's her name? I'm sorry. Don't make me look it up, Joe. Give me the answer. What's her name?
I can't even breathe.
You can't think of it either. That's why, dude. You're stalling. Hold on, dude.
Oh, God. Vivian.
I knew it started with a V, you asshole. I knew it.
I'm sorry. When you did that, like I immediately was like, "Oh fuck!"
You forgot too.
He doesn't remember. I could. No, I remembered. I just couldn't say it.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm about to find it. All right. UFO Garage Podcast on YouTube. Perfect segue. UFO Garage Podcast. Look, dude, we have 351 subscribers. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty cool.
That's fucking sick, dude. Vivian Chavez.
Yeah.
If you go to our YouTube channel, we talked to an Are you sure it's Arcturian?
Yeah, she's an Arcturian hybrid.
And she was literally like a human light bulb. Like I felt so good around her. I remember that day. I was like feeling all anxious and like the didgeridoo, the butt plug guy was like fucking me up with all of his frequencies, and I was like all like agitated. And then like Vivian comes up and she's like, "I'm like the coolest person ever. You're a beautiful human being." I'm like, "Oh my god, thank you." Holy shit,
dude.
Thank you.
Bro, she was like one of my favorite people to be around.
It's one of the most like highly viewed videos because I mean, if I got that feeling from her in person, as I know you did.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure like, people watching it are like, holy shit. It sounds crazy when I'm talking like we're talking about it, but like when you actually like,
dude, it's like but it was like when you stand next to her, like your whole body just releases like everything. You're like, everything is good. Dude. Everything is great. Like I don't know what she's doing, and I don't know if like we got incepted, dude, to like just believing that, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
Something about it. She was an awesome person. Like,
dude. Yeah.
Just her like if you don't believe in like energies and stuff, like if you're around her, like her energy is different, dude.
Yeah. Remember when
Vivian's awesome.
Like when we first started this podcast, we were like totally against energies and like
I know.
And then like time went by and like we talked to a bunch of people, and then it really changed when we went to UFO Con. When we met Vivian, and we had that reading by that other chick that said I had like a white mantis hanging out, giving me shoulder massages all day.
And I was a troll.
And she said you were fucking like. She was like, yeah, like I was already talking to her. You walk up, and she was like, oh, I can't get a read on Ben, but Joe, you're a. What did she say? Like you're a.
You're a lion.
Yeah, you're a lion. Yeah, that's what she said.
You're a lion.
You're a lion. And then.
And my earth spirit is the dwarf.
The dwarf. Yes, I almost said gnome, and I was like, meh, not gnome. Dwarf. And she was like, do you play in the dirt? Like, what do you like? Do you work with dirt or like the earth? And you're like. Yes.
That's literally my job.
But anyway, yeah. So back to Vivian. Yeah, dude. I know we talk about like the copper stuff, which is like, dude, if I were to take myself back when we first started this shit and I listen to our conversation that we're having right now, I'm like, oh God, don't start this podcast. Like you sound like a fucking idiot. Now, dude. My mind is wide open. My mind is wide open because, it's hard to describe for sure. Like, yeah, she's a special person for sure. Vivian Chavette, UFO Garage podcast on YouTube. Check it out, y'all.
Hell yeah, man. Well, dude, I'm about out.
Yep. That was good. Hey, that was good, bro. I mean,
that was good stuff.
For being totally virtual, you know?
Yeah.
I think I made it weird at the beginning, and I was like, no music. And like before that,
we made it through. We made it through.
We're fine. We're good.
Yeah, we're totally good. We're totally good. But
good, dude.
And we'll be back together next week.
Next Thursday. UFO Garage Podcast is coming back together next Thursday, live and in person, and fully nude. So be sure to subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, get ready for that.
Yeah.
So. We're also going to be creating an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of hair. I think for our first OnlyFans, let's do like we were talking about, like the full nude thing. And we were also talking about HD. Like full scrotum pics. Yeah. So like really close up though. Like I'm talking
super close up.
Let's batwing that shit. You know, like I want people to know who I am. You know,
you're not even going to be able to tell it's a scrot. That's why we're telling you now that they're super HD, super close up scrotum pictures.
And I just ordered us a bunch of Nair. So Joe, your chest is going to be pretty slick when you show up.
No, I don't know, man. I think maybe. Some people like the chest hair.
Oh, I know that. I mean, I think ladies love the.
I mean, you look at Burt Reynolds.
I mean,
Burt Reynolds was a total ladies' man.
Hell of a guy.
So, and he's my idol. So, Burt Reynolds is the man.
Yeah, dude.
Don't forget.
Burt Reynolds. I feel like he can only play Burt Reynolds. Like,
yeah, Burt Reynolds is only Burt Reynolds.
He's
There's
a
like
character
no
actor only for Burt. Like most movies are like, it'd be hilarious if like Burt Reynolds plays this role.
He's exactly like how like Nicolas Cage can only play Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, like the expectations for Nick Cage roles are like,
you're like, oh shit, he's gonna play Nick Cage.
Oh shit.
He's gonna be just like Nick Cage in this movie. Hell yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, man, that's it for me, man. That was a good one.
That was good.
Hell yeah.
It's good to talk to you again, man. It's been like fucking 2 weeks since I've seen your face.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the next one, let's do let's get into that John Teeter.
Dude,
let's talk about that story. It's crazy.
Don Cheadle, the Captain America.
Cheeto.
Captain America.
Don Cheeto.
Oh,
Yeah.
got
Yep.
it. Yeah.
That's him.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Dope. Well, we'll be in person. We'll be nude. So just y'all be y'all listening. Just prepare for that. You might not know it from audio, but be tuned into YouTube to see the wildness that is Joe's chest hair, because I'm telling you guys, you can't see skin. You can't. Sunlight hasn't seen your nipples since 2002.
That's a myth.
So people are talking about it.
All right, man.
All right, bro.
I'll talk to you later, dude.
All right, brother.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah.